pleasure for me to prevent you from power napping after lunch. One note, please don't forget to put on your mobiles after the presentation. And so I like to start with a very academic question. I think it fits to the motto of the conference, real estate in 2040, greenhouse gas neutral and energy efficient. It's just a slogan, or it's an effective necessity. Yes, as you can read, I can't speak it. Okay, so the main question is, are we going to be greenhouse neutral and energy efficient or? And there's a small impression. We have a lot of real estate in different, in different form, different colors, and different greatness. So let's go to the easy chapter 1, the greenhouse neutrality. I think it's common sense, meanwhile, that climate change is coming, that all we have a small part to do, anything or everything against this to save carbon dioxide. The change is becoming faster, intenser, more extreme, and more expensive in long term. But instead, there are a lot of climate change denier. Perhaps in the US, there's the next election. Possibly a climate change denier will win. I don't hope so. I hope the other one is going to win. And what's the relation to us as Deutsche Bahn with a lot of real estate? We will in 25 improve the share of renewable electricity for our real estate and our technical stock to 100%. And in 2040, in 15 years, the whole company 100%. The European Union says 2050 is sufficient. The German government says 2045. Okay, but we have to be in advance, so that we have to be pioneer and make it real in 16 years. So our first motivation, our first target is more ambitious than the politics. Climate neutrality in 2040. So we call it, we have a marketing word, it's called green transformation. And behind this slogan, there are 4 columns, 4 elements. I will talk to one. We become climate neutral. We have a projection of species target. We have in terms of resource management and the noise reduction target. And so this is definitely a part of our strategy to be climate neutral. And so we can confess, we can say the greenhouse gas neutrality is safe for us. The second thing, are we also energy efficient? A little more difficult. At first, the energetic consumption of Deutsche Bahn, 12 terawatt hours a year, that's a lot. Germany has 500, and one company 12. That's it's not more than infinitive. And the real estate stock, round about 1 terawatt hour. It's a lot. That's round about like the city of Cologne, a little bit more like the city of Cologne in here. And we have great factory buildings. We have 16,000 medium and small buildings with an impact. We have 350 office buildings with a workspace for 60,000 laborers. 1.25 billion of acres area, square meters in Germany. 20,000 hectares of forest, and this workspace also. So we have a lot of stuff, and this is relevant for the emissions of the whole society in Germany. It makes logic. If you be careful with the use of energy, it's you spend money. So it's economic and ecologic. It makes sense to be careful. So additional to the climate reduction or the neutrality target, we had improved our mind, and we had formulated a second target that we have to implement a real estate management which is also energy efficient. So we called it a program, very boring, a program, a working group, very technical. But indeed, we have a lot of things we did well in the last years. We had top 10 measures, a category of measures which were successfully tested in a lot of departments of Deutsche Bahn. We spent a lot of energy, spent a lot of money. And so this is the detailed the listing of that. The hydraulic balancing of the heating, it sounds very boring and technical, and you like to make your power nap, I know, but it saved a lot of money to do it. The OPEX of energetic consumption decreases. But it sounds convincing to establish and to realize such a program, but we as Deutsche Bahn, and I don't know if you have ever heard in the other lands of our role in this German society. We are influenced by politics. They said, you have to be punctual. Don't matter, we are real estate. The second point, there are no hard legal obligations to be efficient with your energetic consumption. And in fact, we have a lot of buildings, a lot of stuff, and we are only we are not the owners of the buildings, so they have to agree. And one point is inside on the horizon there are a lot of legal framework changes, but this regulatory framework, which helps us possibly to be energy efficient, is contradictory. So some family politics, a small story for you. A warm welcome to the EU family with the taxonomy mom, the real estate daddy, and the lovely daughter Europa, 13 years old. Europa is not able to develop her real estate, also her room, to a state that fulfills the requirements of her legislators, other her parents. So it's the state. Don't know if you have child in that age. So with this in mind, there's a conversation in the living room. Mommy says, Europa, you have to clean up to 85% your room immediately. Daddy, my youngest daughter is 16 years old. Europa, you have to clean up your room to 16% tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and to 26% at the end of next month. So Europa cries, runs up the stairs, smashes the door, and like in this age, it's a normal behavior, I guess. But a thought experiment: if you make a transfer of this story to a company which has to regard the requirements of the regulatory framework, how do you think Europa will behave? So we transfer it to our non-residential buildings. There are two regimes, two options. First, the European building performance of building directive. You have to renovate the worst 16% of your building stock in 2030, and in 2033, 26%. So that the buildings belong to the best 86 or 76%. Benefit: you are legal certainty, you have less energetic consumption, it costs a little bit of money, some millions of Europe, clear. This is the first option. But the EU has another great idea, it called taxonomy, the great taxonomy framework. If you want to be conform to the legal obligation of the taxonomy, you have to renovate the worst 85% of your building stock. And so you are conform, you get good interest on the capital market. That's very easy for you, all in comparing to the regional or national building stock. So your legal certainty, clear, less energy consumption, you have the taxonomy compliance, and you have a real estate portfolio. You are sustainable with your building stock. But the costs, very immense. And now, what shall we do as a great company with a great real estate? We don't know. The framework is contradictory, and we do not know what to do. But this only the best option is the second way we could deal with our real estate stock. So the conclusion related to the EU family, to mommy, daddy, and Europa, this greenhouse gas neutrality and the energy efficiency, wishful thinking, or a necessity. Yes, we can do one thing without abandoning the other, in theory. And act now is more cheap than wait till the legal obligation is coming. Waiting or doing nothing is the baddest of all options. And so the greenhouse gas neutrality is part of our DNA of the Deutsche Bahn. We do it. It's a fixed target of the DB holding. But the energy efficiency today, because of the framework contrary, seems little by a bit of wishful thinking, but indeed it's a strategic necessity to be careful with your energetic consumption. And indeed, before the framework is coming, that you have to do so. And so, in the long-term option, you can say both things are okay. It's not the wishful thinking. Both things are obligatory to be careful with the environment. And so, short-term, the climate neutrality check, and the long-term, the energy efficiency also check. Thank you very much. Anyone fell asleep? No. Okay, thanks.